Yes, guys, what's going on? AdamMcKola here, AdamMcKola TV. We are outside Old Trafford, as you can see. Right behind me, we've got Dino right there, and we are heading back to the ground right about now. To the ground, to the car right now. We're heading back to United nil, Wolves nil today. Bruno Fernandes' debut. Bruno didn't do too badly, to be fair to him. But United didn't do too great themselves, and we didn't get the result that we needed today. We needed 3 points, especially after Chelsea dropped points again, and we failed to do so again. Every single time Chelsea drop points, or whoever drops points, United don't capitalise, United don't take advantage of it, and as a result, we drop points and we drop away from that top four. Realistically, given the amount of opportunities that we've had, we should have already been in that top four, or at the very least a point or two away from Chelsea with the games we've had and everything, and we just haven't done it at all. I thought Bruno Fernandes was fantastic in that first half today. For the first time in a long time, we had someone that was taking shots. He had about 4 shots on target. I think he was the only player to shoot at a certain point. And I thought it was pretty good today. Second half, he played a little bit deeper. He occupied a deeper line role in the 4-2-3-1, as in the first half he was in the 10 position. But overall, I thought our shape was awful. We were playing with Mata and with James and with Andreas Pereira in a 3. In the 4-2-3-1, we had Fred, Bruno, Mata, Pereira, James. James is the only natural winger out of all of them, and he's not good enough right now. And we just didn't have the best shape. Pereira, happy to come in central, happy to go out wide. Mata, he starts out wide, but he floats too central. There's no shape there. There's no shape at all. It gets far too congested in the middle of the pitch, and we can't break them down. We make it easy for teams to defend against us, and we have to make it much more difficult for them. We have to make it, spread the play. Have your wingers on the touchline, really wide. Have your striker in the number 9 position. Have your number 10 there, so that there's gaps, so that there's holes. But we come central, we get all our players into one position, and we just can't break down the teams, and it's really frustrating to watch. And Anthony Martial was poor today. He had another poor game today, following on from the game against Manchester City. I thought he was decent against Liverpool, but following on from Man City, he's had another poor game now. I think, what can he do better? Your first touch has to be better today with your back to goal. It has to be a lot better. Your passing has to be a lot better. Your decision making when you're on the ball has to be a lot better. But did we create a chance for him? Did we whip anything into the box and he wasn't there to get on the end of it? Did we put something into him and he missed chances? No, he didn't have any chances. We didn't create any chances for him. Every time Daniel James gets out wide, he hits the shins of the fullback, doesn't get his cross in. Every time Mata or Pereira, Mata's out wide, he comes central. Pereira's decision making is not good enough. And then we had Bruno Fernandes in there, who was trying to pick the holes, trying to break things down, but he can't do it on his own. And what I like about Bruno Fernandes is he's happy to try things. He's happy to try and make something happen. He's happy to try a risky pass if it's going to pay off. And he tried that in the first half, and there was one pass that he made over the shoulder of a fullback, and Martial got in behind and just got on the ball. And then I was thinking, come on, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that. But then, as we saw in the second half, he dropped a little bit deeper, and Jacob's saying that was down to injuries. Now, in the end, it was 0-0. We nearly went and got the winner towards the end of the game from Diogo Dalot, but we probably wouldn't have deserved it if we did get the winner. Yes, we had a lot of possession. Yes, we had most of the ball. Yes, we were doing most of the attacking. But if we did score, we probably wouldn't have deserved it. So overall, today wasn't a good enough performance. But whilst we had a fair few shots from Bruno Fernandes, whilst we had most of the possession, did we actually create any clear-cut gilt-edged chances? No, we didn't. So can't really complain about the result too much. Let's bring Dino in. Dino's here outside Old Trafford as well. Dino, what you make of that, man? Let's start walking.
It's one of them. I think you can be heavily critical of United. We weren't our best, but I think you have to give some credit to Wolves on it. I mean, they kind of stifled us in the last third, coincided with us being poor in the final third. And to be fair, they kind of had us a couple of times on the counter attack, but again, they was quite poor in the final third. So on the whole basis of play, I mean, I draw probably a fair result. And again, like I say, our recent history against Wolves ain't great. So, you know what I'm saying? If I draw, to me,
Should that mean like we should be able to work on something though? If like if we played Wolves so many times, should Ali have a plan for him, or does that work both ways? I guess.
Yeah, I think you can have a plan for him, but again, we haven't got all of our personnel available. Again, I think if we have Pogba available, if we have McTominay available, Rashford available, I think you're more likely of being a more positive result. But with the squad we've got available, like I said, I mean, Fernandes, he looks like he's tired, to be fair, but again, it coincided with.
He's not going to do it all on his own as well, is he?
That's what I'm saying. We can't. Again, the pressure that's been put on him, I think people. Again, I think he's going to come in and just straight away change it, but it's hard to come into. And again, he's a bit deep for me second half. Like I like to see him a bit.
Apparently, that was down to injuries. The ones that were watching it at home saying.
Yeah, possibly, but again, like when you're chasing a goal, like I don't know. He wants to take a shot on. Like he's not. That's one thing I did like. He's not scared to take a shot on. Because I think again I think he took our first 3 shots or something like.
What did you make of Martial's performance today?
We're not playing to his strengths, and his strengths ain't playing with his back towards goal. But that's how we're playing him. Again, if he's leading the line, but again, I think a lot of times we play into our opponent's hands, and again, that's why you find he always drifts out wide, because there's no point whipping the ball in, because he's not winning a header against the man at back, innit? But I don't know. It wasn't great, but again, you look at the service he's getting, it's poor. Again, we talked and said like obviously we got Igalo's another option, but again, I don't really necessarily think that's his game.
Igalo wouldn't have done shit today.
That's what I'm saying. If you throw him in there, I don't think he does nothing against that the way we're playing. But we need to get further up the field. Like, you know, as much as James started well, I mean, he's just.
I don't think he's good enough, you know. I think he's showing to be championship quality.
Yeah, he's got an option with pace, but he's at feet. He's not the greatest, and he can't cross a bridge. So
yeah,
it's just poor, man.
It is frustrating. Right, let me switch this round. See what these guys are saying. Don't want Poch anywhere near United, says someone, so there must be some sort of Poch discussion going on. Ross Murphy says Ollie needs time. Mata Pereira, Fad James all struggled. He ain't got the options to rotate. That's true as well.
100%.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Our squad's small, in it. So again, we've had City in midweek. It's a couple of tough games, to be fair. So
yeah.
Again,
players are going to be tired as well with the amount of fixtures that we had. The winter break's probably come at a good time for them.
Yeah. Again, like we need, especially with our lack of depth in the squad, 100% needed.
100%. Guys, I'm using a YouTube app on the Android today. I normally use an iPhone and use Wirecast, so let me know how this is working for you, like if it's working better or working worse. I don't know. Why didn't anybody walk out? That's the question that would be asked. So today I was up to walk out if everyone was on it, or if more than one, you know, I didn't want to be on my ones walking out, because the whole point of walking out is it's a visual protest to the owners and all that stuff. The 58th minute, everyone starts singing Busby songs, as we all expected to happen. So the 58th minute, when that happens, I start to think, all right then, it looks like we're now edging towards some sort of walkout is about to go down. And then the minute arrived, 22 minutes left on the clock, and no one moved. And I think everyone was of the same opinion. If it's going to happen, I'm going to go, but if there's no one moving, I'm not going to go, because it's pointless one person just walking out. So in the end, nothing happened. And I don't know whether it's to do with the close proximity to the Munich Memorial game, or I don't know what it is, whether it's to do with that or whatever, but it just didn't happen today. And I think it's a difficult one to organise. It needs to be organised, I think, maybe a little bit better, but then who's going to step up and do that? Fred is never great for 55 million. Are we back on Fred's case again today?
Players, say the truth, innit? Like,
no, I don't get why we're back on his case again now.
I thought he was one of our better players. Again, I think he's the man where now, like you look to give him the ball. Again, like, the way Bruno looks tidy, you'd hope that he also would be one of them players where people will give the ball to because he's confident on the ball. But I thought Fred had a decent game, tell you the truth.
Someone said you've already paid your money to the Glazers. It's not about paying your money to the Glazers. I've paid my money to the Glazers for every game for the rest of the season, and you know I'm probably going to have a season ticket again next season. I think it's just making a protest to the people, obviously against the owners, but to shareholders, commercial sponsors, all those kind of people, to say their customers aren't happy, because that's one thing United love to do. Boast about their customers and their clientele and all this being happy. No one's happy with what's going on. And they like to pretend everything's all rosy in the garden, but it's not. Fred's better than Pereira, we all agree with that. Pereira is just he used to be such a talented player. There'll be videos of me from 3-4 years ago saying he's one of the players I'm most excited about in the youth team, but it didn't work out. I think the best. Remember that geezer how he explained it? What did he say? He's got 2 left feet and he's wearing 2 right boots.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a bad one.
Like, to be fair, I thought signing Fernandes, I thought we'd be seeing less of Pereira.
Yeah.
And doing that kind of.
We need some proper wingers, innit?
Yeah.
Some, like I can live with Rashford on the left, should be our first choice. But then who's on the right? Because if it's Danny James, that's not good enough.
I don't think against top quality opposition. I think they figure him out, innit?
Yeah.
Like, he ain't really got no tricks in his locker.
He's got not one trick in his locker. He's just push the ball and run.
That's what I'm saying. And he's not got a good delivering either. So I don't think he's got that intelligence in the final third neither to just play a neat little pass or anything like. But again, like this, I don't want to start going in on him, because at the end of the day,
it's a learning curve for him.
I don't think we signed him to start. I think because of how poor as a squad we've got, he's just played a lot more times than he probably expected to first season. Like, maybe he can improve, but again, he's not.
I swear people don't understand football, you know. Someone just asked, why did Bruno Fernandes play CDM? He never played central. Like, CDM isn't a real position to start with. It's a position that's on FIFA. You're either a central midfielder or you're not. You can be a 10, but you can be a 6 or an 8. You might have more defensive responsibilities, but he was most definitely not a defensive midfielder today. He played.
No, he was playing deep.
No, but he played deep, but he wasn't.
Even looking to.
He wasn't stuck there. He didn't have to sit there. If you're a defensive midfielder like a McKola or a Kante or someone, but you're sitting there like you're not moving.
He wasn't as deep as them, but he's deep, and that's what.
He was deep, but he weren't moving. Like he weren't sticking there. Do you know what I mean?
I expected him more to be the man on the edge of the box when the ball's coming out.
But he's not. He's not actually a number 10 though. Do you get me?
Yeah, and I hear that still. But I'm just saying, because we're chasing the game, I would have thought you'd just start. Like, you know, like how McKola gets freed up. You'd expect him to start getting freed up now and just go a bit forward more. But
we had no balance, man, which was just no shape.
They pose a threat on the counter attack at the same time, innit? So you can't forget that, innit? Like, again, I think some of it we've kind of been sport. I think like we're expecting to turn up and turn over these teams, but Wolves are a decent team, to be fair to them. Like,
they are.
That's what I'm saying. So again, I think we look back at the season. It's not a great result, but it's not one of the results we're looking at and like, yo, we should have done a lot better here, like, compared to a lot of other results we've had anyway.
First, I mean, would you have taken I would have taken a draw midweek for a win today.
I'm a gambler, so like, obviously I want to take a draw before, but
yeah,
on the basis of play, so it's a fair result, and you can't argue that really.
Yeah, if we had scored that at the end, and you just say you're a Wolves fan, you'd be like, we don't deserve that. Like, frustrating, man. Bruno didn't save us today, but he had a decent start to life as a Manchester United player. We now got 2 weeks to bed him in with the international break, get players fit again, because that's the thing as well. Then we're criticising Daniel James, we're criticising Martial and all these guys. Them boys are probably tired. We're hearing a lot about fatigue from other teams and moaning about fixture congestion and fixture pile-up, but we're not giving them. We're actually not using them excuses, which is interesting, and we've got a very thin squad. Anyway, we got a super chat there, bit drunk boys, but I thought Bruno did all right tonight. What are your thoughts? The same. I thought he was our best player tonight, Bruno Fernandes. Our best player out of 10, I'd probably give him a 7.
I thought he played well in it, but man of the match, I'd say Fred. But
Yeah.
he showed a lot of positive signs, Bruno, for me. And I think, again, like he's new. Like I said, it's funny when he come out. Everyone's chanting Bruno and that. So again, that was probably blowing his head off. And that,
It's a bit like the real chance, then, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
Sound a little bit like that. Shaw played well. Someone said I thought Shaw was awful today. Shows you what opinions like. You could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I thought it was awful today. What did you make of Shaw?
I think he was awful, but I don't think it was.
Well, it wasn't awful because if he was awful, he would have got roasted by Traore. But I thought he was scared every time they got on the ball, and I thought he didn't do enough going forward.
Yeah, but again, there wasn't really much going on either of our wings, to be honest. But again, like it's funny because I was thinking at the end of the game, it's like not to say I don't know about defensively, but going forward, Williams would have been a better choice going forward. He's just got more enthusiasm and he's just trying a thing in it where Shaw's a bit more reserved, I think.
I was frustrated I didn't see Brandon Williams today. It would have been nice to see him start. Maguire man of the match, says Ross. Maguire his man of the match. Shaw needs to.
We all right still? Yeah.
Oh, that one's moved. Igalo up front, Martial on the left, James or Greenwood on the right. Yeah, with Igalo arriving, we could free up the option to play Martial out wide, innit? He does. He can play 9, but I think he needs. You can't be the sole striker, and you're not feeding balls into him. He
needs people in and about him to like play off of. And again, you could kind of do that with Mata, but Mata's not quick enough. And some of the other players, I don't think are on the wave. Like I say, Daniel James, they're not on his wavelength. Like, they're not.
I don't think.
To be fair, again, I'm not gonna start gassing Igalo, but he's tidy at feet, and you know, like, so he could probably.
We haven't seen him for 3 years, you know. I ain't seen him kick ball. Have you seen him in Chinese Super League? I know it comes on TV. I ain't seen him kick ball for a long time now. Can he still do it?
You can't. How much work can he be worse than Alexis?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and we've seen. Was it who went to the Chinese Super League and then went back to Barcelona? Paulinho.
Yeah.
And he came back and did all right for them.
To me, he can't be that much worse than a lot of other players we've signed who came for a lot more money. So, but we need options. Again, we could have done. It's funny because again today I was thinking like all these players. Like I'm not saying we should have kept Fellaini, but at least Fellaini was a different option. You know, like you had again because we couldn't even at the end there we can't transition the ball forward quick enough. Like if you had a man like who's physical, who could just lump it to. It's not the most easy on the eye, but. You can get, you know what I'm saying, that can be effective. We don't have no other plan. Like again, like had we got a Haaland, say, he's he's a different type of option to switch the ball to.
Shaw offers nothing, says Stuart. Harris says Martial was awful. You need a car yet? Yeah, we nearly need a car. I think we judge our strikers on their service sometimes, and we should be judging the service. But he was poor. He has been poor. But again, you man are doing the same thing that you did to Rashford, let me just tell you. Every time something happens, oh, he's fucking shit, he's not as good as everyone said. Oh, Trashford and all this, but let's be real. Players at this age are going to go through dips and troughs and peaks, and it's had to come out of it. And I think Martial now has to be like, yo, I'm playing poorly this week. I don't think, some people have been saying he's been playing shit all season and that, like, you need to calm down. Playing poorly this last week or two. It's time to refocus, get rested, come back and look to tear it up. Like kind of like what Rashford did, innit? Kind of just had that tunnel vision, man. Bruno Fernandes can feed 5,000 people with a Happy Meal. Okay then. Any final words, Dean?
Probably looking forward to this fucking break at the moment. And it's like, yo, no stress for 2 weeks and that. Mad.
I bet Ollie's like that as well. Thank God, no stress for 2 weeks. We'll find something to moan about, don't you worry. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We are now at the car. Thank you for the super chats, the comments, all that good stuff. Really do appreciate you tuning in. I don't know if you found this video because I haven't been able to do the meta or anything like that. But thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, comment, like, share. Go check out the fan cams on Full Time Devils. Say bye, Dean. Peace.